Professor Griff, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate everything you have done and how outspoken you have been. There's one video of you in 2008 where you really just broke everything down with the Illuminati and Barack Obama. I was wondering, what kind of reaction did you have from people close to you and also in the entertainment business after that video came out?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. It's very critical at this particular time that you should ask that, because I took bits and pieces of that information and I put it in this book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip-Hop, the Illuminati's Takeover of Hip-Hop, and then I put it in a book that came out prior to this one called Analytics, 20 Years of Interviews and Conversations with Professor Griff, where I mentioned the Obama deception, which I use as one of the chapters of the book. The reaction that I got from that particular thing was ridiculous, simply because black people on one hand think that Obama's the savior. You understand what I'm saying? And we should not hold him accountable for some of the promises that he made. On the other hand, I really truly don't understand why is it that when we put the truth out there, why is it that other nationalities and races won't come to the table to understand that, look, these are some basic truths, all right, in black and white. So the amount of flack that I got back from it from both black and white people and everybody in between, Republicans, Democrats, I call them Republicrats, has been just nothing but well, I don't believe you, and we're not asking anyone to believe us. Do the research like we do the research, and you'll be convinced also.
Do your own homework and make up your own mind. Don't believe anybody. The evidence, the information is always out there. One of the things I always found surprising is that whenever Bush was in power, when we were speaking out against the same things, they were calling us jihad-loving liberals. We were actually called that on Fox News. Now, when Obama's in office, we have Chris Matthews of MSNBC with the Southern Poverty Law Centers calling us right-wing racists. Our position has never changed. We are still the same people. But can you tell us, why is there always this shift? Why do people always keep going along with this left-right? And do you think there's an answer to breaking that paradigm?
Of course, it needs to be a political paradigm shift. We're always talking about cultural and educational paradigm shifts, but no one talks about politics, which is the science of governing people. We never talk about this particular worldview, your paradigm, everything that you think, everything that you feel, everything that you plan. We never think about taking those things and shift it in the political arena. We talk about the science of governing people. We need to begin to talk about the science of governing the self. If we keep relying on government, so to speak, to take care of not the wants but the needs of the masses of the people, we're going to end up broke, lonely, out of doors, and hungry, and begging for the same people that want to oppress us. We're going to be begging them for our daily dose of bread and medicine. And it's sad, because we wake up our children early in the morning and feed them Captain Crunch and take our children and deliver them into the hands of the people that's trying to oppress us. And I think that's sad.
It's slowly
we expect them to be normal.
Exactly. And we expect a difference, and we expect to change every 8 years, and it never really happens.
But just like WeAreChange says, you know, we are change. We need to be the change that we want to happen. That
we want to see in this world, and we can only do that with positive, proper action. Now, another thing I wanted to get into. Now, the term Illuminati, it's a very general term. Like, everybody throws it out there, everybody uses it. But how would you concisely kind of break it down so that the average person who never heard of it would understand it? What is the Illuminati, and how would you explain that to somebody who never heard of that word before?
If a person has never heard of this term Illuminati needs to understand a working fundamental definition of what the Illuminati is. The Illuminati, as Adam Weishaupt said back in 1776, I believe, is holders of the light, the enlightened ones. And these only consist, it's not a lot of people. It's a handful of people, and you know the Illuminati only consists of 13 bloodlines. And if that blood is not running through your veins, you're not part of the club. Plain and simple. I don't care what line you have in your song, what commercial you do, what movie you have out, how you entertaining people. You're not part of it. You're not in the club. Plain and simple. So when we start looking at the illuminated ones, when we start looking at the enlightened ones, this is what they call themselves. We know that not to be true. When they're participating and dipping and dabbing in black and white magic and some of these demonic forces that they call to carry out their particular agenda. We are the enlightened ones. You understand? We just need to act like it and take the throne back. You understand what I'm saying? And they can only get away with what they get away with by using our energy. I call them psychic vampires.
And we're allowing them to get away with everything
Exactly.
they're getting away with.
Exactly.
And if it's our acquiescence, it's our compliance that really is the main force driving everything that they're
Exactly.
doing right now.
And it's funny that you should mention compliance, simply because I truly know and understand that silence is treason, man. You know, silence is no excuse.
Yeah. And I think that's the major problem, is a lot of people are afraid. There's a lot of fear techniques. There's a lot of scary things that are thrown at us in the nightly news that make us petrified, that give us this fear. And I think this fear is pretty much the killer of humanity.
But it's induced.
Yeah.
It's induced. When you look at Boston, 24-hour coverage every day for a week and a half. Fear. Fear.
Just the bombs,
fear.
Images, and blood and gore over and over and over again.
And then we don't understand that they went door to door. They was running a drill.
Yeah.
You understand
We
what
were
I'm saying?
there, yeah. We asked Erin Burnett of CNN, does she feel responsible for creating a culture and a society of fear by replaying those bombings and those horrible images over and over in Americans' minds?
And what was the response?
I can't talk about that. I gotta go. so we
wait. Go where? The city was on lockdown.
I know. There was nothing else. we were very lucky to catch her when she was doing a broadcast outside. We waited out there for 2 hours until she was done and made sure, just to drive the point home. That's our main message, just to communicate ideas effectively so people understand the true power they have within themselves to actually not only change themselves but change the outside world. And I think you're a big part of that with, you know, the positive message you've been spreading. You were one of the few people in the beginning of Barack Obama's first administration that actually spoke out against him. And I was wondering, 5 years down the line, has your opinion changed in any way, shape, or form of Barack Obama since he's been in office for 5 years now?
Yes, my opinion of Barack Obama did change, yes.
And how is that?
He's worse. The situation is worse. Look at what's going on. I just finished filming the Obama Deception Part 2, thanks to Alex Jones. And it is utterly ridiculous. The list of things that we've listed, the amount of promises that he has made, that he has never kept, never planned on keeping. The amount of laws that he signed, legislation and that he signed into law is ridiculous.
The NDAA.
Right, that goes directly against some of the very same things that he's promised.
Yeah. My last question, can you tell us more about your books and what you have going on right now?
Like I said before, this is the psychological covert war on hip-hop. I had to revamp it. I put a new chapter in this, the Illuminati's takeover of hip-hop. In revamping it, I put in 700 images so it can resonate with young people, so that I could give this to parents so they could use this as a tool to bridge this generation gap, to get them to understand what this thing is. Because a lot of times, young people think it's a boogeyman hiding under the bed and the Illuminati's coming to get me. Not the case. In order for us to counteract the madness that's going on, we have to know how this particular system works. This book is my latest installment, which is my 4th book, The Acapella Revolution. We as parents, as people that really love music, regardless of what kind of music is, in most cases don't like this kind of music that's out now. But what are we doing to educate young people to help change this particular cultural environment, especially when it comes to hip-hop? Because I'm telling you, some of this stuff out now is ridiculous. The culture bandits done took over. We got lawyers and accountants running the music industry now, and it's sickening. So what I did was I put together the Acapella Revolution, 200 pages, and I put formulas in here for young people to get a hold of the book and learn these particular formulas, learn how we put the music together. You understand what I'm saying? To stand on the shoulders of those of us that's already did it. I just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame along with my comrades in Public Enemy, and it's a beautiful thing. And I told the brothers that night, I hope that we can use this particular platform dealing with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to use it as a platform to continue to raise the vibrational level, continue to raise the intellect and the consciousness of the human family.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Give thanks.
So much respects, and keep up the great work. Thank you for speaking out and not being afraid.
And as Steve Biko said, revolution is not an event, it's a process. Peace.
Is that you know, you're showing the humanness, the frailty of these so-called power men. They're running from the camera. They're cowering.
Of the recession. That's the thing that people really have to understand, is that the people who benefit the most off of the recession, they don't want to change it.